What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your man, Coach Block. Hey, I got the wrong thing on here because I'm used to doing this with my sister for the radio station. This is actually, bang, first and goal. So, how's everybody doing? We're back. I'm back. I'm gonna say I'm back first because usually behind the scenes, my sister is manning the controls and all that stuff. But and I had that whole super long intro and all that good stuff, and I don't have the intro right now anymore because my sister's not here for me right now. So I got to do all this on my own. And it's a lot to control all this by yourself with the sound, the volume, the interviews, and all that stuff. So I had to keep it simple to make sure we had a crisp interview going on. And before we get into the interviews, we have three young men that we're going to be interviewing today. I have to give you guys some shocking news. I don't know if anybody is watching it. If you are watching it, this is crazy, but it's 53-21 JMU over UNC at halftime. Once again, that's 53-21 JMU over UNC at halftime. They literally scored 25 points in the first quarter, 28 points in the second quarter. That's crazy. So if people don't think that this transfer portal is real and evening out the stakes of the game out here, I don't know what to tell you because that should not be so one-sided. This is a blowout. This is almost just go ahead and let's get the second string guys ready for JMU after the end of the third quarter, but that's terrible. So what we're going to do is go ahead and get into these interviews because we got some great players. With the First and Goal 365 podcast, our goal is to give young players the opportunity to show themselves off the field. Many of you guys see them and you see the highlights, you'll see the pictures, you go to the Instagram, you can get a little bit of who they are as a player. But it's very important in the recruiting process to get to know who they are as a person. And so this is an avenue or a lane to be able to have these young men just talk and express themselves, to get to know their character a little bit, to show that they're just a little bit more than just the gladiator that you see on Friday night. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump into our first gentleman because he has to go to Shaw University for a visit, which is fantastic. So we're going to go ahead and get him in so that we can go ahead and proceed on, or let him proceed on with the rest of his day. So first up, I have Mr. Tyrek Robinson from Vance County. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. How you doing?
Hey, man, I cannot complain. I cannot complain. So look, I'm going to jump straight into the interview with you because I watched your highlight tape, and one thing that stuck out to me is that you are a pretty dang big DB. How tall are you, man?
6 foot.
6 foot? What's that speed looking like? Have you been timed in any camps?
My last one was 5'6", not 5'6", 4'6".
I'm going to say 5'6", you're a lineman. So tell me how the season's going so far for you at Vance and your teammates.
It's going pretty good. Won all our games. We lost. Had a tough game last night. We lost.
So now, go ahead.
We're going to bounce back from it for sure.
That's good. So I was just about to ask, and for you as an individual, and then also for your team as being one of the leaders, how do you bounce back off of taking a tough loss?
Going to practice ready, heading into the next team with a chip on our shoulder.
Okay. You're heading to Shaw, and those guys down at Shaw, I know them very well because I coached with this staff at Shaw University, who's there. So Coach Jones has actually been on this podcast as well. When you're heading into Shaw right now and you're going to go take this visit, what's on your mind?
Really just to get to know the program better and get to know the coaches and players more and deeper.
Okay, cool. And real quick, we also have our scout here, one of our talent scouts and recruiting scouts, Ed Brooks. I'm gonna bring him in as well. How you doing there, Coach?
Doing good, Coach.
Good.
What's up, Truck? How's it going, Truck?
It's going good. How you doing?
Doing good. Tell your dad hello.
Okay, I will.
Yes, sir.
So let's get into a little bit about you off the field. So on the field, we see that you're a dominant player, locked in, focused. Tell us about how you are off the field and as a student.
As a student, throughout the day, I'm just getting work done, studying, doing what I have to do.
Good, good. What are your strong subjects?
I have to say math and science.
That's excellent. That's excellent. So then heading into a school like Shaw or any of the other visits that you have, what are some of the academic things that you're looking for when you're looking possibly for your next university and opportunity?
Well, I want to major in mechanical engineering.
Oh, okay. Okay, good, good. So then with majoring in mechanical engineering, you know that there's not going to be a lot of room for off the field stuff. That's a little different major when we're talking about
Yeah.
life. So there's a certain level of maturity coming into this game. So, and when I say game, I mean like college on and off the field. So tell me what helps you to know that you have to be locked in. Like what experiences have you had coming in to Vance County to where now your maturation is I'm on my A game? How has that transition been from a young player to now knowing exactly what you want to do?
Well, it just helped me more, I would
Mhm,
say.
mhm.
So since I've been going through it for a little while now, so I know what to expect and I know how I need to arrange myself.
Okay, great, great. What players do you look up to? So like who do you look at and say on the field that's the type of game I got and can emulate?
One of our main players, Antoine
Mhm.
Doyle.
Okay, got you, got you. Collegiately, who do you see, or not who do you see, because that's not fair because you're still looking for your school, but what type of feel from a team works for you? What are you looking for?
A team that can just come together and bring each other up
Gotcha,
instead of
gotcha.
just beating on each other. Just telling each other next play.
Hmm. Hmm. Coach Brooks, you got any questions for him?
Uh, Truck, what position do you feel more comfortable playing at the next level? Cornerback or safety? I know you've played, still are playing both positions at at the high school level, but at the collegiate level, which of the two positions you think is your natural fit?
I have to say corner mostly.
Okay. I agree based on the your film that I've watched you tracked you since high school. Yeah, I feel between the two you're a natural fit at corner, basically a shutdown corner, a dominant corner.
Yes, sir.
When you're out on that island as a cornerback, give us what goes on in your mind. Like, what are some of the coverages that you like, and what are some coverages that you really don't like? And I'm not saying you can't play it. It's just what coverage are you like, man? Coach, come on, man. I don't like that. Which coverages are your good and your
Uh,
bad?
I feel like I like the most is cover one.
Okay,
I like to get hands on and control the receiver,
okay,
and
okay.
then probably cover three where I have to play back some
Yeah.
and not being able to come down as quick.
Okay, okay. And so, there's strengths and weaknesses in every player across the board. So coming into college and getting an opportunity to kind of watch college ball right now and see what's going on, what are some things that you know going into college? Like, I got to work on this. This is something that I know to be that elite athlete, I got to do this.
Uh, Mostly keeping my eyes where they need to be and not keep peeking at the quarterback.
Okay. I was trying to cheat so you can get that pick six.
Yes, sir.
All right. So give me some advice that you would have for a younger you. So now here you are as a senior, right? And you're getting ready to go on college visits and all that good stuff. What would you tell the eighth grader about to become a ninth grader? What advice would you give them?
Just to keep working, keep putting in that work, and do your schoolwork. Keep your grades up
Okay.
because high
You working
school
for
is way different than middle school.
Got you. Okay. What is your current GPA?
Right now I'm sitting at a 3.5.
Say that again for the people who didn't hear you. That was a great one.
Absolutely.
3.5.
3.5. That's all. That's strong. That is definitely strong. What other schools besides Shaw are you looking at and are looking at you?
Right now I'm looking at UNC Charlotte. I
Okay.
went up there. I like their
Good.
program a lot.
Okay. Cool. Coach, you got some more?
Yeah, Truck. That's good that you have a high GPA, because with that GPA, you qualify for all of the divisions as a prospect. And I know so many times we've had prospects, the grades will be a stumbling block, but in this case, you have that's not a stumbling block for you. And I'm great to hear that, and just keep up the good work in the classroom as well as on the field, because so far you've started off with a strong season. So just keep it up on both ends.
Yes, sir.
And we will do everything we can in our power to hopefully get you some offers soon.
Thank you.
Sir.
You
yes,
are.
sir.
Yes, sir. We're going to work on that.
I looked at your film and I feel the same way. Like I said, I
Right.
love your size. I love where you sit. And I'm looking forward to more of what you're doing this season. And as the games keep going, continue to make sure you put your highlights up game by game, because as a senior, you want to make sure everything is ready. So when a college coach comes in, you don't have to wait and say, oh, I'll get you my highlights. Just have them already set up on Huddle, which you're already doing. And so with that being said, man, I don't want to hold you, because we got a couple other guys we want to get to, and you got a visit that you're going to. So tell Coach Jones and those guys down at Shaw, Coach Block said hello. And make sure, you enjoy yourself and get there and home safely, my brother.
I will. Thank you for having me.
All right. See you, Truck.
All right, man. Have a good season.
Thank you.
Yeah. So this is what it's all about. Now, Coach is in, so we can talk a little bit before we get to our next guy. How you feeling, Coach?
I'm feeling good, man. Feeling good. A lot of the kids have been monitoring. They're off to great starts, and that's good and great to see. What about yourself?
Yeah. I can't complain, man. It's different being on this side of the ball and watching. Last night, I found myself getting antsy with a few of the scores I was seeing, just that blood boiling again. But I also know that the work that you do and the work that I would like to do is necessary for these young athletes. And if you can, I'm gonna just give you a little bit of time just to speak about what it is that you do, because we want people to know when they see you what you're doing.
Well, I'm a scout, and what a scout does, I'm looking at the player's performance on the field. And I do the scouting report is a performance evaluation of the players on the field, and not only on the field. When I get on the sideline or if I'm watching film, I look at how they warm up. Mm-hmm. That's crucial, because if they're serious and dedicated about warming up, that translates onto their playing actions on the field. Mm-hmm. And I look at the position groups. I look at their movement, lateral movement, footwork, speed is crucial. Footwork is crucial for a lineman. The DBs have to be able to backpedal, have to be able to change directions quickly, because the receivers, there's some speedy wideouts. Right. And if we can't change directions quickly, you're not going to be able to properly defend them. Right. And for the linebackers, need to be able to have good lateral movement, be able to change direction, be able to cover the receivers or running backs and the flats on the short passes. Right. That's what I look at for the linebackers. Wideouts, looking at the way they run their pass routes, because at the next level, if your pass route running is not defined and precision, it's going to be difficult to sometimes almost impossible to break open from the defender, defensive back to catch a pass. So I'm looking strictly at their performance evaluations on the field.
Great. And it's so important to do that, because a lot of people kind of ignore that and they want to go with the fluff, which we'll talk about as soon as we get done with the interviews. They go with the fluff of this and follow the hype train and not realize that there is true evaluation that needs to be done so that colleges can make a fair assessment on what it is that they're looking to invest in, because this is an investment. Invest in on the next level. That is key. A lot of this is, a lot of people think that it's just, my son shows up and he should get, because entitlement. And we're going to talk about that coming up, where guys like yourself, we sit down and we actually watch the film and give you the assessment based upon what we've had conversations on with coaches, because
Right.
the one thing I say all the time, coaches talk to coaches. So,
Absolutely.
but we're going to get into the next two interviews so we can have some fun and give some parents and guys that are watching some information, just some cheat sheet stuff that they can have coming up. So what we want to do is get into Mr. Bradley Chapman, who is coming from Hillside High School. We all know Hillside High School has a rich tradition of winning and just that whole culture over there, giving you almost an HBCU feel before you get into HBCU. So let's bring up Mr. Bradley Chapman. How you doing, sir?
How's it going, Coach? You doing good?
Hey.
What's up, Mr. Bradley?
How's it going, Mr. Brooks?
I'm doing good, man. Good to see you.
So Bradley, man, talk to me, man. You coming from Hillside? Like, tell us. Like, there's a lot of schools in Hillside. You got Riverside, you got Jordan, you got Northern Durham, Southern Durham. Tell me what makes Hillside special to you.
I think it's the way that we all just click together, and the way that we are player-led, and the way like all of our relationships are just all together, basically. Good. So now you're as a senior, and everybody that we're talking to for the viewers are all seniors. So now as a senior in that leadership role, understanding that Hillside, there's a mystique about Hillside. When Hillside shows up, you're expecting physicality, you are expecting speed, and a little bit of an attitude about that. How do you as a leader keep that Hillside thing going as a leader on your team? I make sure to keep my teammates accountable. Whenever we mess up, I make sure to tell them, make sure it's next play, just next play.
So tell me a little bit about yourself off the field. One, starting with your GPA, and then what subjects do you thrive in?
I have a 3.5 GPA.
Hold up, stop. Say that again for the people that may not have heard that again. You have a what now?
I have a 3.5 GPA.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. And the subjects that I really thrive in is pre-calculus and economics. Yes, sir.
Just a little bit about Coach Block, man. Whenever I hear people say calculus, man, I get the shakes because I thought I was good at math until I hit calculus. I struggled in college with calculus so bad that I changed my major. So when I hear you young guys in high school talk about calculus, I just start shaking, man. So congratulations on that. What majors are you looking at for school before we talk about football?
I'm thinking about majoring in sports medicine and minoring in finance.
Sports medicine, another major that requires a lot of work and diligence and discipline. How are you preparing yourself for that now?
I'm making sure to study my craft. And yes, sir.
Cool. Coach Brooks, I'm sorry, I'm hogging up the mic. Go ahead, Coach.
No, that's fine, Coach. Bradley, what schools have expressed interest in you? I think you may have one or two offers.
I have an offer from St. Andrews at the moment.
Okay.
Congratulations.
I'm looking at East Carolina, UNC Charlotte, North Carolina Central, North Carolina A&T at the moment as well.
Now, are they recruiting you as take it as a D tackle or nose guard?
Both.
Both.
Mostly nose guard.
Okay, that's what I thought. Based on your film and what I've seen you at camps in person, I think you're a better fit or natural fit on the defensive line would be at nose guard. You would excel at that because of your quickness off the ball.
That's the first thing that I noticed when I watched your film, because I asked Coach Brooks for your film as well so that I knew what I was talking about when I was talking to you. And the first thing that I did notice was your explosion off the ball, which is great. And now, 1 second, because we got a comment that popped up. Do you know somebody by the name of Miss Barrett?
Miss Barrett? Oh, that's my mother.
Yeah, I know. She just made a comment and said your mom is a teacher and your grades are required. So I just wanted to shout out, Mom. You're doing a great job.
A very good job.
A very good job on this young man. So yeah, right. I just want to embarrass you a little bit more. Don't worry about it. Thanks, Mom. But so let's talk ball. Let's talk about your approach to the game. So once again, like I said, we know physicality is a big thing. with Hillside, and we also know that these guys are coming in with a bit of an attitude and a lot of swag. How do you stay centered when you know that coming in, that's the expectation? You get what I'm saying? You guys have a standard. So how do you stay centered in that standard and meet and exceed the expectation?
I don't let outside distractions distract me. And
Mm-hmm.
as soon as I got here from my old school, they went ahead and let me know the standard right away, and
Mm-hmm.
that I had to go ahead and follow it. And ever since then, I've been following the H standard. Yes, sir.
Good, good. And give me something about yourself that is a standard, like that you won't let go. So Hillside has its standard, right? But you also have to have your own identity amongst a team. So what are some things that you may have as like your personal motto, your personal standard for yourself?
I think my standard is to always work as hard as I can,
Mm-hmm.
and just never let up on my hard work, because
Good.
all of it's gonna be it's gonna be worth it in the end. Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Coach, I'm sorry. Once again, I'm hogging the mic. I'm sorry.
No, Coach, that's fine. Well, Bradley, as we told Tyrek, just make sure after each game on Friday night, within a day or two, that you upload your game highlights, and me and Coach will continue to interact with coaches on your film, and hopefully get you some additional offers. But make sure you keep your within a day or two, get your new game highlights up on Huddle and Twitter. So, because I contacted on a regular basis, and it's important that you have it uploaded. So when the coach says he's looking for a D lineman, I can send it to him, and I don't have to wait to contact you to get additional film. That's what we tell all the guys that we help.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, who are some guys that you look up to in your position, college and NFL?
In the NFL, I look at the Byron Murphy and Aaron Donald, because they're around my build, and I feel like we have the same amount of play style too.
Yes. Now, one thing I can tell you about Aaron Donald, I coached at his high school because I'm originally from Pittsburgh. I coached at his high school and had the opportunity to see him play a lot at Pitt. And the one thing I can say about him is his off the field work ethic was insane, because he was slightly undersized, is what some would say, but he also used that to his advantage. So now when you're training, how hard is the training that you go, knowing that you may have to go against guys that might have you by, a few inches or so? What are some techniques that you like to use, or some techniques that you got in your utility belt?
Well, first off, I'm gonna go ahead and give a shout out to my trainer, Andre Purvis, WCO 70, and we work on a lot of get offs. We work on a lot of block shedding, a lot of mental stuff, and physical stuff as well. He gets me right for the game and make sure I stay low, come off the ball, shoot my hands. Yes, sir.
Cool. What is your dream school? Meaning, like, it has this, it has that, it has this. This is what's comfortable for me. What would be your idea school? You don't have to specifically say one. Don't shoot yourself in the foot. Just give the characteristics of the school.
Yes, sir. Well, I would say that East Carolina is my dream school at the moment, because it's close to home, and it has good academics as well, and it has a pretty good football team, and I feel like I would be a really good fit over there.
Okay, cool. And my last question before giving it to Coach, before we get you out of here, is, every player has to be aware, just like I asked Tyrek, of their weaknesses, because you're only as strong as your weakness. If somebody finds that out or they see it on film, they're going to use that against you. So what's one thing that coming into your season as a freshman, walking in, you say, this is what I want to work on so that I can be the complete player to be able to compete right away? What is one of the things that about yourself that you say, this is what I need to work on?
I feel like I need to work on my overthinking when I get onto the field, because I don't want to overthink the play before it happens. I feel like I just need to go ahead and not think, just go ahead and do.
Hey, man, let me tell you something. There's nothing better than having tapped in parents. You want to know who answered the question before you? Mom. And you want to know what she said?
What did she say?
Overthinking.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Now that's what you call locked in. Mom is locked in. She answered the question way before you did. Coach, you got something before we close out?
Yeah, just one thing along the parent line. Yeah, his parents are locked in because I'm steadily getting text messages from his dad, which is good.
Yeah,
and it makes our job easier when the parents are locked in to the kids, because they're keeping it up to date with what's going on, and it makes my job a lot easier. So I say, Bradley, you're off to a good start. Keep up the strong push on the field as well as in the classroom. And anytime you need anything, or if you have want us to send your film to a school that we may have missed or not aware of, just hit us up and we'll do it.
Yes, sir.
Keep working.
Keep grinding. And
Yes,
finish
sir.
this season hard, man, and keep up with that Hillside mystique and swag, man. I got to get out there, man. And I heard y'all got some bomb fish sandwiches out in the audience, so I don't know. I got to go see what's going on out in Hillside, man. But thank you for your time. I don't want to hold you, man. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and get to work on Monday, man.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a blessed day.
Oh, you too.
Man.
Later.
Mom was locked in, wasn't she, Coach?
Absolutely. Yes, sir. That's great.
I ain't mad at it. So the next gentleman we got coming up is a guy that I actually coached against last year, and he's a dog, and I'm just going to bring him right on. Mr. Brandon Pittman, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, Coach. How are you?
I'm doing well. Brandon Pittman is coming in from Sanderson High School. Since I've been in North Carolina as a high school coach, I've had to coach against Sanderson every year. And they always produce some good linemen, some solid linemen that go on and play college ball and beyond. So you are in an elite fraternity, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now let me ask you, because the one thing is you do football, but you're a dual sport athlete. What else do you do well that some people may not know?
Oh, I do wrestling and I do lacrosse. And I did a little bit of track. I did shot put.
Okay. Now wrestling, you got some hardware in wrestling, don't you?
I would say, I've been to regionals ever since my sophomore year. So I feel like every year I've gotten better at doing wrestling.
Good. Now, tell us where you're at as far as offensive line, because last year you were guard, but I was told that your position moved this year. Is that the case?
Well, I've stayed at guard, but I'm versatile. I can move to center when I need to because I'm the backup center on our team, but I've started at guard.
Okay, cool. Okay, now being a cerebral player, meaning that, not a lot of people understand how hard it is to be a lineman, and not only be a lineman, but play multiple positions on that. So talk about the versatility you have to show when we're talking about going from a guard to a center position, because it may not seem like a big deal to some, but for those that know, that's not easy.
Well, it takes a lot of, aggressiveness, the ability to be able to be calm under pressure, because guard and center is different, but center, you have to focus on snapping the ball and blocking. It's like one swift movement. You can't let the pressure get to you. You just got to have a cool and clean mindset.
Oh, I was going to get into the mindset about that, because a lot of people think football players are dumb jocks, right? And when you get ready to get down to snap the ball, could you go over what you have to do as far as just checks? Because people don't know centers have checks and have to identify certain things, and so do guards. Could you go over, just put us into your mindset before you get ready to set the ball or snap the ball at set?
Well, you got to make sure everyone's feet are set to begin with, your offensive lineman. And then you look at the defense, you look at the linebackers, the D-line, where everybody's set up. And then right when you're before you snap, you got to make sure you can see the quarterback, because the longer you look, the more accurate the snap will be.
Right.
So you don't mess up the snap.
So my last question, I'm gonna sling it over to Coach. So when we're talking about a center and a DB, because DBs will tell you that they got the hardest job because they got to do everything going backwards. And my argument is the hardest job on the field is center. What do you say? Who has the hardest job on the field?
I mean, I would say, to be honest, any position anywhere is hard, but I feel like center's a little bit harder because you got to focus on hitting someone immediately after you snap the football. The DB doesn't really have to make contact immediately as soon as the play starts.
Right. I feel the same way. How about yourself, Coach? What you thinking?
Ms. Pittman, yeah, that's a good question. Do you feel comfortable playing at the next level at center versus guard? The reason I'm asking, a good center is a high priority, and if you're comfortable at playing center at the next level, that may increase your offer opportunities.
Yeah, I feel comfortable playing center at a higher level because I feel I have better leverage because usually the centers are the shortest on the offensive lineman.
Right.
And I already have a lower leverage than the nose guard, so it's easy for me to block the nose at center.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good to know.
And so when you're speaking of leverage, how much does wrestling play a part in your success at being a lineman?
Wrestling, I feel, adds a lot of aggressiveness, and for wrestling, you have to already get the moves you want to do in wrestling. You have to be lower than the guy is because the lower man wins.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's the same thing in football too. Because if you're lower on the line, you're driving and blocking, so you're gonna win. That's how I win most of my reps.
Okay. Okay. So then now let's get a little bit about off the field, just like we did with the other gentleman. Let the coaches get a chance to hear you be a well-rounded student. What's the GPA and what's your strongest subject?
My GPA is a 3.0.
Oh, say it again.
3.0.
All right.
That's great.
And what's your strongest subject?
I feel like my strongest subject is English, and my other subject that I enjoy doing is econ.
Okay. And what ideal majors are you thinking about for school?
I was thinking of majoring agriculture or any kind of business because I feel like there needs to be more agriculture, like in general, because not really a lot.
Okay, that's very good. Yes, and you're correct. So then, what school would fit you best? As far if you have a dream school, you go ahead and say that, or what school ideally, without specifically saying if you don't want to. What is the type of fit you're looking for? Big campus, small campus? What are you looking for?
I would say any campus that makes me feel welcome.
Okay.
And that has the major I want to, the thing I want to major in.
Okay. Okay. Coach, throwing it to you.
Well, this was a great afternoon. We had 3 prospects with high-level GPAs.
Yes, sir.
Which will make them more recruitable.
Mm-hmm. And the one thing, and I know, a lot of people may not agree, but Coach and I can both tell you the first thing off the board when coaches are recruiting are linemen, because you can't find a lot of them that can play on the next level. And I think we gave 2 today that definitely can play on the next level. Before we let you out of here, Pitt, what are some of the things that you're looking for in college as far as a team? So you told us a little bit about school. What's the ideal team that you say this would be a good fit for me?
I'm just looking for a team that's good at motivating others and not talking bad about people and bringing like a cancer to the team.
Mm-hmm.
And just even if that's like a hard loss, I just want to make sure everyone just builds up on each other and forgets about it and moves on to the next week.
Yes, yeah. And you guys right now, what's your record currently right now?
We're 3-2 because last night we had a tough loss. We went against Millbrook and we lost.
Okay, so then as a leader in the locker room, how do you help the team bounce back from a tough loss to Millbrook? I
just tell everyone you can't lean on the past. You just gotta watch film and make corrections and move on to the next week, because if you think about the stuff in the past, it's not gonna improve on what you have to do next week.
And you had a brother that played as well. So before I let you go, what did you do to separate yourself from being considered like little Pitt? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so what did you do to separate yourself from your brother and create your own identity?
Well, I feel like us playing 2 different positions helped me become a different person than my brother, and we had different mindsets when playing football.
Cool. All right, man. Well, I appreciate your time, man, and I'm going to keep watching. And as you know, and as your dad know, anything that we can do, I'm just an inbox or a text message away. Hit us up, and we're going to keep trying to do what we need to do to make sure we can help you fulfill your dream.
All right, Coach. Thank you.
All right, no problem. You too, brother.
You too. See you, man.
See you. So, Coach, like you said, the one thing that we had today, which was great, is guys that got grades.
Absolutely.
If you don't have grades, there's no reason for us to even really continue the conversation past your grades, because with the SAT and the ACT not weighing in as much in recruiting anymore, not saying that certain schools may not require it, but NCAA doesn't. The GPA is all you got to stand on. And
absolutely. And if you don't have you're absolutely correct. They don't have the GPA, then there's nothing we can do for them. If until they get their GPA up where it's admissible as a student. So kids like that, we just tell them, they need to get some academic help to bring the GPA up before we can begin to make them help them be recruitable.
Yes, absolutely. And so with being recruitable, what I want to talk about with you, Coach, because I got a couple topics that we can talk about before we just close the show down. I got about 3 of them.
Okay.
But the first one that I think you and I need to talk about just to help the parents, and I know this might ruffle a little bit of feathers out here, but we have to be honest with you so you know how to assess your child's future.
Right.
That's what the ultimate goal here is being able to be informed enough to make a decision with your child on what the next level is. So then what we're going to talk about here is committable and non-committable offers. Because when I say that, a lot of times I get a lot of flack, Coach, from people saying I'm hating, and it's not that I'm hating. And I think I took some time to go over what non-committable offers are. And then I got 4 little categories of why coaches may do that. And then we can just go ahead and dive in and break those down together. So first of all, I have non-committable offers in college football is an offer that requires a recruit to wait before they could commit to the school. And this is different from a committable offer because a committable offer, the school will be ready to take you at that time. And there's some reasons that I got, and these are what we'll talk about to give a better understanding for the parents. So the 4 reasons that I have that, you may receive a non-committable offer is 1, the offer is based on, getting to know the commit a little bit better before they fully commit to you, meaning that this is kind of less them saying, we're looking at you, we may have a spot, but there's a little bit more work that needs to be done. The other one is the recruit needs to possibly attend a camp so that the coaches can see them on campus and lay some eyes on them. And then another one is that the school has to develop a better relationship with the parents and the decision makers and kind of get an understanding of the background of the player. And then the last one I have is the spot right now may be closed. You might not be as high on their board, but they also want to give you the opportunity to know that we're interested. So there's a pecking order in the depth chart, and they're recruiting somebody. They may be recruiting 2 guys, and you might be the 3rd. So if they don't get 1 or 2, then they give you the opportunity. But I'm gonna let you weigh in on that, Coach.
Well, I've run across a lot of kids that have non-committable offers, and I've had a couple of parents in discussion about that. And I said, well, contact the coach that reached out to your son and ask him, tell him I'm ready to commit to your school now. And if they say no, then it's non-committable. Because I said non-committable is nothing that you need to sit and wait around on, because unless the higher priority prospects go elsewhere, the chances of that offer becoming committable is slim to none. So
correct.
I advise any parent not to put any weight on non-committable offers.
And I feel the same way. And I've told parents time and time again, don't believe everything you see when you see a guy saying he has, 20 or 30 offers. Oh, I lost Coach, but that's okay. He'll come back. Don't put in a whole bunch of weight when you see a guy saying, oh, I got 40 offers, 25 offers. That's all well and good. Don't get me wrong. But that does not mean that those offers are committable at the time. And if you want to find out, then you just tell them, okay, I want to come to the school. And then or I want to have a visit. And then 9 times out of 10, that'll let you know they'll get into, hey, well, let's hold off, and or they'll go cold. And so sometimes when things go cold, then that offer that you received was not necessarily the offer that you thought you had. Another reason why coaches give non-committable offers is just to put their name in the hat, just so they can ruin it for another coach. So, for example, let's say you have UNC and NC State in the same recruiting pool because they both committed to you. Well, UNC might have gave you the offer because they don't want to see you go to NC State. So then now they just have you playing the game. This because that's also what it is. It's a game. And you have to do what's best for you in understanding that some of these offers that go out, do I match what they're looking for? And what I mean by that is there are students who are currently on the let me text coach while we're talking, tell them come back in. There are coaches on the roster still. Hold on one second. Let's see. Coach is texting me. This is live, so it's not pre-recorded. Okay. Tap back in. Hold on, coach. Tap back in. Hold on. Hold on. Click back in. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. It's live. So here's what I mean by figure it out where you at or find out where you stand. You can figure out how to get an idea of whether or not you fit with a team simply by starting a Google search. And what I like to tell players is, do you fit the players who are currently on the roster? So if you look at the roster and you're a running back and you notice that they have running backs there, but I'm not the same height and I'm not the same speed of the crew that you have there, then now I got to wonder, is this offer legit? If I'm a receiver and I notice that the coaching staff currently has 8 receivers and all of them are 6'3", 6'4", and I'm 6'1", okay, I need to figure out like, okay, well, what makes me unique and why are you picking me? Because I don't fit the prototype that you already have on your roster. And maybe the staff is looking for something different. You need to know the identity of the coaches that are recruiting you. Some coaches have preferences. For example, I prefer bigger backs. You will not see me recruit a guy 5'7", 5'8". For what? Not going to do that. So if you see me on a coaching staff, you're going to know his backs are 5'10", 5'11", 6 foot backs. Well, then that also means if you see me commit or send an offer to a guy and he's not that, either he sticks out on film doing something really, really special, or it's not a committable offer. It's just a guy that I think might fit our team somewhere else on the roster, and we just want to get him in for a look. You have to pay attention to that. That is not something that I can say you should put a whole bunch of weight into until it's time to truly make the decision to sign. I've seen players get ready to sign their national letter of intent, and then the information never get faxed over. That has happened. I've actually seen that as a fact. So, you want to be careful with that as well. And I'm trying to see if coach can get back in. Want to see if the link is working for him. Hold on. Is the link working for you, coach? Get on back in now. Is the link working? We want coach to get back on in. All right. The next subject that I kind of have, because I don't want to hold anybody too long because a lot of college football is going on today, is and I wanted to show you what I mean about the example with just searching and doing a quick search online. So if I'm a running back right now, and let me share my screen here. All right, hold on one second. So if I'm a running back, and let's say I want to go to UNC. Say I like Omarion Hampton and I want to go to UNC. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Google and I am going to go look at UNC's roster. So this is how I would do it if I'm in your shoes. And this is more so for the players, not so, parents, you can do it too, but this is for the players. So I'm going to go look at the current team, right? And let's not look at the fact that they're getting blown out. Woo, that's terrible. Let's go look at the roster. And we're going to look at here. All right, so I need to go look at all the running backs and then see where I match up, how I match up, if I match up. And then that gives me the opportunity to kind of see where I align. So let's say like Caleb Hood right here. He's 5'11", 220. He's a senior. We also know that Omarion Hampton is a big guy too. I don't see him on here. Where is he at? So hold on. I think he's 28. So Omarion Hampton, 6 foot, 220. Okay, so they got two backs that are 220. Darwin Barlow, running back, 6 foot, 220. So that's telling me something, right, guys? Like that would be telling me right now that if I'm 5'8", 175, is this a committable offer? Like, is this something that I don't see too many running backs that are small. The three guys that we see right here are 220 and no shorter than 5'11". So that's something that you would have to see, even 5'9", but he's 205. So 220, 205, the weight and all that stuff starts to pay dividends when we talk about, well, are they recruiting me? Here's another running back. You got 5'11", number 21 here, 5'11", 215. He's a freshman. So all their running backs are 200 plus. So that would tell me I need to go check out and see, okay, well, let me see how I match up. Then the next thing I would do after that is I would then go to their huddle tape, because everybody has huddle. And so once I found out who I wanted to discover, is nothing but a quick huddle check to see, well, do I match? So the next thing I would do is I would pull up their huddle link. Let's see how that would go. Hold on. Oh, coach is back. All right.
Yeah, I'm back.
What's up, coach? I'm sorry. I was just going over.
No problem. That's good.
Okay, cool. So what I was doing was going over, like, if I was a running back and I was interested in UNC, and I was 5'8", 185, I would have to go look and see, like, and let's say they offered me, I'd have to go look to see and get an idea if this offer may be legit. I could simply look and see if I fit the mold of the guys that are already at the school. And so what I was showing the audience was that UNC has a tendency of having bigger backs. So, for example, you got Geis, I think that's how you pronounce his last name. He's 5'11", 215. Then you have French, who's 5'9", 205. Barlow is 6 foot, 220. We already know Omarion Hampton is 220, 6 foot. And Caleb Hood is also another 200 plus back. So if I'm 185 and I got an offer from UNC, I might need to look in to see if that's really a committable offer, or see what they liked about me, because I don't fit their protocol or prototype at running back. So, you let me know about some tricks that player might be able to do or find out that can let them know if this offer is even committable.
Well, you brought up a good point, and that's what I tell kids, whatever position they're playing, and if they get an offer from the school, to look at the roster and look at the players that play their position, their height and weight. And that prime example with UNC at the running back, they have a history of utilizing big running backs. So if you prospect you 185 and you get an offer, the chances are slim to none that you would go there as a running back, because you don't fit their mold.
Correct.
And if they take you, you're not going to get on the field as running back. So I would say that's not really a solid offer. Would look to schools that have running backs that they're in my height and weight range, which I would foresee as a committable offer. But 185 and 200 is the standard. that to me, that's not based on my experience, years of experience, that's not a committable offer for running
Correct.
back. Yeah.
Correct. And so that's where and parents who are watching, that's why when you guys ask me things like, well, he has this many offers, and then I start asking the schools, and then I look at your son and I say, well, you need to check on that. It's because just like Coach said, you get familiar with coaches, you get familiar with how they recruit, you get familiar of who they recruit, and then you can clearly see like, well, I don't know about that. There may be a reason why, like Coach said, they may have brought you in, and the first thing that they may say is, he's not a running back, but he might fit our outside linebacker. And so then now you may have to look to play a second position.
Absolutely.
Yes. And if that's not your thing, once again, that lets you know, well, this school isn't for me, which gives you the ability to have a little bit more control in your recruiting process versus just sitting on the wall and waiting to get picked. I think that's where a lot of high school students go wrong, and why also the transfer portal ends up being as big as it is, because you pick wrong, or you pick based upon wrong factors going in. One thing I wanted to talk to you about, Coach, and get your opinion on, because I know it is a topic that a lot of people are having debates about, which now the FBS has gone to 105 scholarships. And do you feel that those opportunities that are coming are for more transfer portal students, or was this a way for the NCAA to try to help out more high school students?
Well, I think right now in the current college environment, I think those additional 20 plus scholarships at the D1 level is going to lean towards the transfer guys, because the demand and pressure to win now at the D1 level has increased. So most schools are going to give those offers to kids that can come in immediately and play and help the program, versus bringing in the high school seniors, unless they're, highly rated, highly regarded, that can play year one. So I'd say 5 years ago, if the NCAA had passed that, it would benefit bringing in more high school kids. But now I'd say that will bring in more transfer guys and give the high school guys a lesser opportunity.
And so now, with you saying that last sentence, giving the high school guys a lesser opportunity, what advice are you giving the high school seniors now who kind of are aware of, I'm that guy, that tweener, that now a school may take a shot on me, but then why take a shot if I can go into that portal and find somebody already ready? So what are you saying now to these guys that were in that gray area, who may have been who could develop into a solid D1 player, but now those schools are kind of shying away, and then now majority of the opportunity are coming at D2. What do you say to those kids?
Well, I tell the kids to be open-minded, and because of the transfer portal, you may not get an opportunity at the D1, and the D2 is no less, because I look at it like this. I tell the kids, whether you go D2 or D1, your college education is paid for, and you have the opportunity to earn your 4-year degree. So don't close the door on D2 and just say, I only want D1, because you have to keep an open mind and have to be realistic. And don't turn down good D2 offers, because there are several players from D2 schools that have played on Sundays.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
If a prospect,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
If a prospect keeps an open mind, then I'm willing to play anywhere, given the opportunity. I can promote him to more schools. Absolutely. Yeah. And to understand, just so you guys know, FBS, they have 105 scholarships. FCS
has like 60. They have 65, not like they have 65. Division II has 36 full or partial scholarships. And so what that means is, because a lot of people get this mixed up when they say, oh, I only got a partial. Well, schools will, the reason why Coach and I are both high on academics is because schools want to see how much academic money you qualify for as well. When you get into D2 programs, they can split a scholarship up. And for somebody who may have great grades and they have the ability to play, they can create a package for you, not only for you to be able to have your schooling paid for, but when it's all said and done, you'll actually end up with a refund check. But that's one thing of understanding the business of, I got to make sure my academics are intact so that I can receive that extra money that's out there for me. Because as Coach was saying, the opportunity to play ball, once you're on the field and you can play, it's on you from that point, what's on your film. But don't shoot yourself in the foot by even being able to receive opportunity because your academics aren't settled. Because if you get a D3 scholarship, or not scholarship, but a D3 offer, there is no scholarship there. And it's all predicated on what your academic is going to be and what you qualify for from the state as far as your FAFSA. So these are things that you need to take in consideration, because now that the transfer portal, my quote used to be, and then I'm gonna let Coach chime in on this. My quote used to be, only 3% of student athletes make it because there's 1 million. Oh, we lost Coach. There is I used to say there's 3% of student athletes that make it into college, and there's 1 million every Friday night that are playing. And if you go to the NCAA website, that stat has changed for high school students. It says that there's less than 1%, because now there's roughly 1.5 million high school players that are playing every Friday night. So that lets you know what you're up against. And when you shut the door on other opportunities, you just shrink that down further and those numbers down further and further and further. So you definitely want to keep all options open and focus more on what your academic goal is than just your athletics. Academics is going to take you a lot further and create more doors that you can open up. And then also what I would want to get into, my last piece is, parents, you need to be aware of, we got Coach back. Here we go. What up, Coach? Got you back.
Okay.
All right. And the last piece I wanted to go into, Coach, and I think it's not talked about enough, because it's a code amongst the coaching world to not necessarily talk about coaches amongst coaches. But sometimes you have to be aware of who your coach is. And the reason why, and some parents, you may disagree with me, but this is the rules. Coaches are not obligated to recruit your players. Nowhere in their contract does it say that they have to recruit your player. And some coaches don't know how to recruit your player, meaning a 5-star guy is a 5-star guy. He looks the part. When you cut on the film, he plays the part. He doesn't have to be recruited. But sometimes those guys who aren't passing the eyeball test on the field and off the field, you got to find homes for them, because you got to kind of figure out where they may fit. Some coaches do it, some coaches don't. Coach, would you like to elaborate on that point?
Well, yeah, that brings up a good point. And it's good to know some of these coaches or what they're looking for, or what they're willing to take a chance on, to give them a good opportunity to play at the next level. And sometimes I just ask them. I said, Coach, I got a guy, he's a good kid, good student, good film, and he would be a good team player. And I just ask them what they're looking for. And when I know if kids fit the mold of what that particular coach is looking for, then I recommend that kid to be given opportunity.
Yes.
To play at that level. So that's key to have a communication with some of these coaches, and get to know what their likes and tendencies are.
Right.
Yeah.
And high school coaches, I'm telling you now, as I stand, you have parents, be aware of how your high school coach communicates about recruiting. And I'll give you a very specific example. And some people might be like, oh, here's what I mean about breaking the coach's code. One of the things that stressed me out the most was when I see kids who have the abilities to play college ball, but then they're not being coached for college ball. Some coaches coach for college ball. Some coaches coach to win high school football games. And there's a huge difference. And when I say there's a huge difference, you can tell by the preparation, meaning we teach how to watch film, or we teach players when coach was talking about, hey, we need to know about our steps and how we're moving. And, you need to know about leverage. And when you're teaching those things and you're drilling it every single day, well, we're prepping you for college. When we just go over plays and we glance over the details, we're coaching you for high school football. And so with that being said, I have been a part of a staff that the head coach told college coaches flat out, well, we're not going to have anything for about 2 years. And when you say that, you diminish the value of the kids that are seniors and juniors who are about to give you 110% of their effort. They just need to be coached. Well, once that coach was removed from the situation, now that same team is flourishing this year with a 3-1 record. So you have to be careful on who is coaching your kids, what their philosophy is when they're coaching their kid, and understand the stuff that coach and I are telling you, because parents, you have to have an active role in your child's recruiting. I'm not saying helicopter parent, and I'm not saying be overbearing, but I am saying be very informed about who and what are talking to your kids and what's being said. What do you think about that, Coach?
I agree wholeheartedly. I've had that discussion with some parents, and I encourage parents, if they have questions about recruiting for their sons, to hit us up, because if your son's coach or coaching staff don't host a meeting with the parents to talk about recruiting, then my suggestion is that you meet with the coach and have that one-on-one conversation about his philosophy on recruiting. Then you know where you stand, but you can't sit back and assume something. You need to, as a parent, need to take an active role and get an understanding, as you so clearly put it, what the head coach's philosophy is on recruiting. You can't just sit back and wait, because if you wait, your kid may be overlooked.
Yes.
And I've seen it happen more than once.
As well as I. And please, parents, and I'm putting this plea out there because we are, I wanted this show to be roughly about an hour, and we're almost at that mark. But I'm putting this plea out there to please don't wait. When I say take an active role, that doesn't start when your child is a senior.
No, sir.
Unfortunately, if you take that active role as a senior, you could be a little too late. And I'm saying even on the D2 levels, because a lot of these schools prepare at least 2 to 3 years ahead of time. They already have a depth chart. And, one day I'm going to actually have put a board up so that you guys can see how it works out, because there's names. And on those names, they put next to them what year these guys graduate. And coaches, even though they may flip-flop, they still, if I go to another school as a coach, that doesn't mean I'm not going to recruit your kid. If I like that kid and I transfer schools, that means he may get an offer from a different school of which I am now coaching. So you need to know these things, and it's extremely overwhelming. And I'm not saying it to be to be too harsh or to scare anyone. But when you do have resources such as Coach Brooks or as myself, or there's a lot of trainers out here that can give you that information, please indulge in it as much as you can, and ask as much questions as you possibly can, because this information can be extremely overwhelming. And the most important thing is a lot of this is extremely time sensitive. And then, Coach, I'm gonna let you have your final thoughts about everything, and then we're gonna get to the close.
Well, Coach, I enjoyed it. I think this was a great way to restart your podcast. And we had 3 very good student athletes on today on your initial podcast, and look forward to many more in the upcoming future. And parents, by all means, reach out to myself or Coach Block. We're more than willing to help you with recruiting, or if you have questions concerning recruiting or scouting, whatever, feel free to ask. We're here to help.
And Coach, if you can, just give them your email or best way to contact you.
Okay, well, the best way to contact me is you can shoot me an email. And email address is ebrooks5912@outlook.com. Or if you're on Facebook or Twitter, you can send me a direct message.
There we go. And for me, everything is Coach Block. So you can reach me at Coach Ken Blocker on everything. And if you can't get me on there, First and Goal 365 on everything. And so Coach Brooks and I will be in talks again, because we're going to do this again, and we're going to find some more players. So if there's anybody that you have out there that you would like us to review their highlights or even give them an interview, please do not hesitate to shoot any of us an email, because we will make sure they're on at the next time. So with that being said, I want everybody to enjoy their weekend. And for all the players out there, please don't compare, compete. It's Coach Block, Coach Brooks. We're out. Peace.
Peace.